Sometimes it kind of just shows that when that ball rescinded, went backwards, the ball was stopped, time was officially done, he made his mind, let's blow that whistle. That next touch kind of went through, it went play. So is he correct by the letter of the law? The answer is yes. You know, had he waited another split second or two, he probably would have let it go.
This is when the referee decided to blow the whistle for the first half of extra time. What's your thoughts on this, boys? Is this harsh?
It's harsh. It definitely is harsh from the attacking phase of play. You're not really supposed to, so you can see the frustration there by the Inter players. We'd have to probably look that again to see if he was onside. I think it looked very, very tight. Very tight.
He was on,
but it was risky.
4 seconds. It was 4 seconds beyond the minimum of 3. I don't care whether he called it there. What I want to point out is that Barcelona are tired. The organization of that back line, it looked wonky. It looked like a diagonal line forward there.
Nico,
it's deep. It's 105 minutes of football.
You would be wonky if you spend 90 minutes doing this the whole game as a centre back.
I told Grella when we went into extra time, I said, Barcelona are going to get tired.
Do you know what?
From what we saw from the lack of being plugged into the game in the first half from Barcelona, we're going to see more of that in an extra time because you can't sustain such a risk when you're not locked in and you're tired and legs are heavy and you know how perfect you need to be to play that offside trap through 105 minutes or 120 minutes.
Well, they tried to play it for the first goal that they conceded, which I think it's crazy at that high line. But do you know what I'd be surprised at what I would like to see? I would love to see the distance covered by the two centre-backs of Barcelona compared to other top clubs.
Is Christina Unkel here? Because that's the only reason Grella normally gets off his seat like this.
We're talking about offsides trap. We're talking about what offsides trap? These guys are instructed when the opponent has the ball. Watch the back line. You can watch a million clips. They jog up to the halfway line, which is now no one's offsides.
Yeah.
And then they jog up to the halfway line, and then they turn their body and they go, all right, let's get into a race. And they get into a race. And if they do it all the time, all parts of the game. How would you like to be a defender where you have to jog up with no pressure on the football? You jog up to the halfway line. You have to turn and go, okay, here it comes. They're going to put one in the space behind me. By the way, center backs notorious for hating space behind them, for facing their own goal when they're running. Ball behind. You have to face your own goal. You got Dumfries on your right. You got Thuram on your left. You got Lautaro Martinez posting. And there's overloads in every single defensive phase of play. You're playing with fire. How many challenges is Cubarsí going to make? Is Cubarsí caused the penalty?
Yes. Yes, he gave the penalty away.
How many situations are you going to put this young centre back in?
He's also
unsuccessful.
And to
He's young.
Unsuccessful. To space behind his back.
In the first leg, people going, oh, what a challenge, what a play. He likes to do that. Nobody likes to do that.
Yeah, but Grell, it can't all be that bad. You've been really negative on Barcelona, and they're in this point. They're leading La Liga, so something must be going well for them.
Because they're really good at it.
Working with him for?
They're incredible. They're incredible when they have the football. But in that mode of playing, and they're incredible when they do press and they do risk. I'm not saying not to risk. That's not what the message. The message is when there's no pressure on the football and they have the ball, it's okay to drop sometimes. It's okay to drop 15 yards.
Too much naivety.
In this series,
it's kiddie stuff.
Inter has been very sly about this. And
really good chance for Inter in the box.
Again.
Not too far away. Christina Unkel is here. Okay. Sorry to interrupt you, Nico, but let's just bring her in because we've got a question from one of our YouTube viewers joining us. Why did he start the game right when Inter had a shot? Well, that's what we were wondering too. Here it is, in case you missed it, right on the stroke of half-time, of extra time. You can see, keep an eye on the clock. So there's, 5 seconds to go here. He brings it back. So technically all the time is done. But this looks onside to the naked eye. And the referee blows it. Let's see what Christina thinks. Christina, what do you think? Was that the right decision by the referee there?
Yeah, so this one's not going to be one we're probably going to necessarily like after. You can see, and by the way, this is Marciniak, referee of Champions League, World Cup finals, considered one of the best referees of ever. And sometimes it kind of just shows that when that ball rescinded, went backwards, the ball was stopped, time was officially done, he made his mind, let's blow that whistle. That next touch kind of went through, it went play. So is he correct by the letter of the law? The answer is yes. You know, had he waited another split second or two, he probably would have let it go, but he hit it right on it. So this one's a little bit cringy just because if he would have held for a second or two, he would have allowed this to go on
I don't think he saw the runner.
Yeah.
No one did.
Neither did the defender.
Neither did Barcelona.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Christina, what about the situation with Denzel Dumfries? What did you think of this? Because this was another really big talking point of the game, which led to Acerbi's goal here.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's one of those kind of the biggest instances as to whether or not it kind of went through. Sorry, just taking a look at this one myself here. So taking a look at Dumfries, ball set through the back, and that whether he picks it off or not, right? Whether there was a foul or not that originated from it. Because we don't really find this as a clear and obvious error, he gets a little bit of contact on the ball.
From Barcelona. It's
not a foul.
We're not going to become involved in this one, right? That's over-refereeing the situation and not what VAR is cause for. And as you heard all the boys, they don't want that, and football doesn't want that.
Did Christina say over-refereeing? Wow. I agree with
what
you,
does that
Christina.
mean?
Over-refereeing.
Well, anything from you, or have you been quite happy with the refereeing today?
I totally agree. No, I totally agree, especially the second one. That's not a foul. That's super soft. Dumfries is actually maintaining the ball, using his body, to protect that space, and the defender just kind of falls over him. So it's way too soft to call it.
One of the biggest downfalls today for Barcelona has been their lack of starting fullbacks. Gerard Martin defensively
Christina
has been terrible defensively. Like he looks like a little kid. He really looks like a little kid.
Christina, we have another question for you about Thuram in the earlier play to Acerbi's goal.
Okay.
What do you think of this spot here?
Nada. Go to the gym. Nada. Nothing there.
No. You mean the potential contact right there leading up to in the middle of the field?
In the middle of it.
No, so anytime we're looking for kind of that aerial challenges, anything that kind of jumps up, we're focusing on, right, is there any undercutting? Is he jumping up? Is he jumping directly through and directly into? Big boys game, this isn't going to be called at this level, and I wouldn't really call it at any other level as well. So it's a good to know decision as well.
Christina, out of 10, what would you give the referee so far in this game? So far, what would you give him?
Yeah, no, I mean, one thing that's not noted is the beautiful advantage that was given for that second game, that second goal leading up to it. So from an officiating standpoint, very, very solid. Like I said, that last, whistle there for the halftime, you're like, oh, that's probably not the greatest, but it's not the worst either. So I would give him a 9.5 out of 10.
There was a handball that was in question on the broadcast. They didn't show another replay of it. Asking for a handball on Acerbi, which it might have hit in that zone, that wasn't grade zone. I didn't think it was a handball either, but we never saw a replay on the broadcast. It was only the original.
Listen, the lawyer just gave one of her colleagues a 9.5 out of 10. So.
That's maybe the highest rating, Christina, I've ever seen you give.
It is a high rating, but I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued with Nico going for handball conversations again. Let's do this.
Nico, Christina, we don't want to go there.
I'm scared.
Where's Charlie? Where's Charlie?
Argentinian and handballs. Argentinians and handballs, not a good mix.
You suffered that one, didn't you, man?
Nah, bada bing.
Well, Ori's on whatever side Nico's not when it comes to that. Christina, good to see you. Well, we'll see if anything else happens in this second half of extra time. Thanks so much.